I've been a fan of The Witcher for over 15 years, and for almost half of that time I've been an active member of Czech Witcher fan community. I've started attending the Witcher conventions and making costumes from the games. Thanks to that, I've later become a member of a LARP group that represents one of the Nilfgaardian brigades. And I've also joined the team behind short fan films called the Witcher Stories. And all of that happened because of this game, which is my favorite from the series, and I love it so much that, as you can see, I have 4 different versions of it. And that brings me to the main topic of this video. The Witcher 1 remake has just been announced by CDPR, so let's talk about it. The game is being rebuilt from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5 and is currently in the early stages of development at the Polish studio Fool's Theory. And this brings concerns which probably come hand in hand with every remake of an iconic game. Will it stay true to the amazing original? It's the reason I'm not really that hyped as everyone else seems to be about the announcement. I hate it when iconic things get modern update just to appease future generations. They usually change too much and lose the original spark or charm. I will stay cautiously optimistic about the remake. I'm not saying that it can be good, but if developers from Fool's Theory want to make a really good remake, they better make it as faithful to the original as possible. The best thing about The Witcher 1 was its atmosphere, which is like lightning in a bottle to some extent. It will be very hard to capture it again. You need to really understand what made it so unique. I've seen a lot of people over the years say that CD Projekt should just make the same locations, story and quest from The Witcher 1, just in the same engine The Witcher 3 is using. And that's an awful idea in my opinion, because it would lose the atmosphere that the original had. It's usually said by people who never bothered to play the first game because it was too clunky for them. I always hated when people said they couldn't get into The Witcher 1 because it's too dated for them. That's like saying to a diehard fan of Elder Scrolls that you only ever played Skyrim and you won't play Morrowind or Oblivion because they are too dated, even though they are excellent games. Like, are you that shallow of a fan that you need pretty graphics to play a game with an otherwise amazing story and atmosphere? Anyway, there's this video where one guy tries to recreate the slums location from The Witcher 1. You know, this very gritty, gloomy, muddy and depressive place. And what did he do? He made it sunny with pretty vibrant colors. It looks no different from Novigrad. And he even used the epic main theme from The Witcher 3, which is the complete opposite of the soundtrack that's playing in the Temple Quarter. The track is literally called An Ominous Place, and it sounds like this. When you hear this, you can feel the depressive atmosphere of the Temple Quarter. You can almost smell the stench that's coming from the pit where they dumped the burned bodies of the victims of Catriona Plague. And you are half expecting to be mugged and killed by Salamandra in some back alley. The atmosphere is amazing. And then there's this. This is what happens when you don't pay enough attention to details and you don't understand everything that made the original great. And I know that this might seem pretty superficial, but there's so many subtle details throughout the game that made the atmosphere what it is, so they are important. Also, nothing against the guy who recreated that location. I really appreciate that he made this video and dedicated his time to something regarding my favorite game. I just wanted to make a point on how easily the atmosphere can be ruined, and you need to be really careful when you are recreating something so iconic as this game. So, best of luck to Fool's Theory. Please be really careful with this and don't make any unnecessary changes. For example, The Witcher 1 has the best and most complex alchemy system from the series, and I would hate it if it would be replaced by the simplified version from The Witcher 3, just because it's more gamer-friendly. But enough of my rambling. If you got to this point and you want to see more videos about this topic from me, I'm actually working on video about The Witcher 1 and its atmosphere and what made it so unique. So if you are interested, subscribe.
So what'll it be? We doing some ploughing business?